players' races all set. Everyone's ready to go. We'll be heading into Coda, our game number 3. So we've got, I guess I'll break down the players a little bit as we load into things. We've got EON. He's a master level Zerg from Minnesota. So I'm obviously cheering for him because that's my home state.
Wait, is he really?
Yeah, he's from Minnesota.
I thought there was nobody, and then he said he was. I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back with
We're
it, Kevin.
We're all level. I messed up his Twitter thing. It's supposed to be at EONSC2, but it's just EONSC2. But if you want to tweet at him, it is at EONSC2 on Twitter. And he is the manager of, well, I can't spell. I said manage of Infinity Gaming. Proud of myself, Kev. I can't spell things.
At least one person's proud of you.
Yeah, I mean, my mom says I'm special every day. No, but so he's manager of Infinity Gaming. They actually recently started a more like pro centered or pro oriented team. So that's pretty cool that they're taking, I guess, more serious strides with a number of their players to,
Sure.
to go for that track. He was the top placing Masters in Midwest Cup 5, and I guess his record versus Fenner on the ladder is 5-0. So that's something. Fenner's not a bad player, huh?
Against Fenner?
Yep, against Fennerino.
It's not bad.
And then we have Playa. He is our longtime Midwest Cup player. He hasn't quite gotten the gold yet, but he has a whole lot of second places under his belt, and he's played in every single Midwest Cup so far. He's a Grandmaster Protester from Missouri with a very interesting style of zone, and we will hop right into the game to make sure we don't miss any of his, I guess, no terribly strange opening out of Playa yet, but we will see.
Yes, we will.
So, in the bottom right, it is the Zerg player. Again, as I said, he's from Minnesota, and he's a Masters Zerg. Yep, Zerg. From Infinity Gaming Pro Team, he is EON.
Did we announce boats just now?
And in the top left. Take it away, Sam.
And in the top left, spawning with the red trunks, our longtime Midwest Cup player, the Red Protoss Playa.
What was he canceling over there? I was zoomed in funny. I heard things explode.
I was watching your funny zoom in
Dang.
to make sure that I could match my tone with how serious your camera work was.
Okay. I guess he must have canceled the pylon because he's got minus 25. Right? For
I believe
resources lost?
yes.
That's got to be just the pylon.
Yep.
So he might have been going.
He is walling off, which is, the first thing that not a ton of people do this against Zergs.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you're safe, right, to defend most early pools and stuff like that. But there's really no reason not to. It can make bouncing back and forth a little bit more challenging later in the game, maybe against Mutaplay, something like that. But he's not worried about it. He's more worried about the shenanigans there. And I mean, having that one hex opening makes it really easy to deflect a lot of those things with just one zealot.
Yeah, and Playa, as I said, he often has an interesting playstyle. Going for, I mean, it's not quite a fully committed. I mean, I guess you could say it's a fully committed cannon rush. Although I feel
he's
like
throwing down.
He is really throwing him down. But honestly, we've seen this last Midwest Cup where he just put like 3 cannons outside of his Zergs. It was on Vani. He just put 3 cannons outside of the Zerg's ramp to his third, and he just left him there, and he said, alright.
Resume game.
I have a good feeling he fully intends to leave all of these cannons. He will be able to take out this base. Has he killed off no worker kills yet, but placing that zealot in a very efficient choke point right there. Some decent micro.
Yeah, it just causes a little delay, right? It means that EON has to go and deal with that right away, right? Or he loses mining time.
Mm-hmm. And now Playa should be free to probably tech up at his choosing. He's a player that likes, I mean, he's got to get that cybercore, but he certainly likes to stay sparse on the gateway count, but go for high-tech units
right. And
pretty
this
quickly.
Is a situation where I love to see like a Sentry Immortal all-in follow-up or something to that extent, right? Because you know that your opponent's going to try to be aggressive on on tier 1, tier 2 units.
Hmm.
And so you just play to that, right? You make an army that kills that, or if not, you can push out with.
Yeah, but I mean, Playa, I think he just goes for, I think he's like 100% comfortable with always going for a long game. He never really tries to, at least not that I've seen. I haven't seen him try and go for the push to really end it and destroy his opponent quickly. He just goes for, well, I'm winning now, I'm just gonna continue to win. And I've seen it. I saw it. I seen it.
I know. I was ready to get to it because I was excited.
Okay, we do have a little bit of a proxied expansion out of EON in response to those cannons, but a lot of speedlings too. Will this be able to take out the natural? Will he even focus the natural? It just barely, not quite get by those zealots.
So he needs to build buildings here, though. There we go.
I mean, yeah.
So he continues the wall, right?
Yeah.
Making this very, very difficult, right? Pretty safe from Playa's perspective.
Yeah, Playa's he's all snug and tight right now. He's not going to be taken out by big Ling run bys anymore. I think that was like the one opportunity to make for EON to make something big happen there, but unfortunately just not quite enough in either direction. He didn't go for picking off the natural or something like that, and he didn't quite get into the main base. And sometimes that flip-flopping or not complete dedication in StarCraft 2 results in just jack of all trades, master of none, right?
Yep.
No longer a quick layer out of EON, but a very economy deficient layer out of EON. He will maybe not even take out these photon cannons. It's hard to say. Oh no, just barely. That's really disheartening to see.
That one might be out of range of a hatchery, though.
Yeah, it might be, but I think he's already made the Zerglings. But 3 more Zealots are going to come down to maybe not. They've decided to go back home. It's scary down there.
He's done this a few times, though. We've seen it. It's sort of a similar annoying sort of play, right? If your opponent doesn't have a good queen count out or roaches to walk 3 Zealots and block the narrow ramp to the main.
Oh yeah.
And just hold position them.
Has Playa done that, or is that somebody else?
No, Playa's done that.
Okay.
He's done that a few times with his. He's like sort of pushed out with just his original 3 Zealots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's
it's
rather funny to watch.
He does do very interesting things with his first few Zealots. And we've got a little tag along that Changeling wants to be a Zealot and join in the fun. But
How
just
many
more?
An Oracle, which is kind of a cool idea. Doesn't get a ton done.
Well, he sees that Nidus network though, so he knows, okay, my opponent's. He still hasn't seen this this base down in the bottom left, but he knows that the Nidus play is at least a plan. You don't really build a Nidus and say, never mind, I'm not going to use it. Although maybe, I don't know. Like, what could come out of there? Like 2 queens, maybe? And then, I guess. It just doesn't seem like there's the right kind of units to Nidus with, because it's just Zerglings.
I mean, maybe he wants to just creep wall in. He thinks that's the only way that he can put pressure.
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
on Playa and therefore off of himself. But
yeah,
the Void Ray sneezes on the Nidus and it goes down.
Goodness. So just it's hard knocks for EON. I feel like on this game. Just a number of unfortunate scenarios so far. I mean, how are we looking at? We're still seeing we're seeing a pro bleed out of. A solid pro bleed out of our Protoss player. I mean, we've got he's gotten a lot of harassment going on, and it definitely shows at this point in time the income advantage is certainly there. So our Zerg's in a tough spot. He's kind of going to be. I mean, I would think he's relying on the Spire to really make things happen, and potentially catch his opponent off guard. But Playa's already got. I mean, even 2 Void Rays, like, they're not good against mutas. As far as you look up your StarCraft counter sheets in your Prima strategy guide, and it certainly doesn't put the Void Rays as a counter to mutas. But I just don't know that enough mutas will be able to come out of this Spire with only 600 gas. I mean. Hello? Sam? Did I? Did I lose
Sorry,
you?
I'm on mute.
Oh, okay. I was like, I haven't heard you be quiet for this long. I think ever in my life.
I know. See, I'd been talking for hours there. No, I was just saying, Playa, right, at some point had to know that there were more lings that coming out there that and could have come out of one hatch. And so he went out sniffing, right?
Yeah.
He does find the base, but he's going to lose both Void Rays for it.
Yeah. I mean, that's going to prompt the switch into Phoenixes, and he's already got, I mean, I guess just one Stargate, but I mean, one Stargate of Phoenixes is kind of comfortable against just 2 bases of mutas. It's going to be a little tight on the defense for a moment for Playa, but I think he'll be able
Drops
to
the
persist.
Photon Overcharge right away.
Yeah, I think he just wants to be. I mean, I think usually Playa, when presented with the safe option, he goes for it.
Yeah, that's true.
Typically, I mean, aside from his very.
He wanted to watch his Oracle.
Yeah, that's true. Which is a little unique because he's usually a player that gets the full use and more out of any unit that he makes.
Right. So now we're into this interesting situation, right, where we don't really have EON threatening to do much of anything. And we have Playa sitting now on 3 base economy, right? Triple pumping probes at a 15 worker lead. So it'll be interesting to see how the next phase of the game here shifts, right? Because EON has this really difficult to defend third. He doesn't have a ton at home. He doesn't have a ton of drones. He doesn't really have the gas to make a high-tech army.
Yeah. It's a hard spot to be in. I mean,
what do you do, Kevin? How do you win as the Zerg here?
I don't know. So if
we're
I was,
about
I
to
mean,
have the super death ball with Phoenix support.
yeah, I would have already left the game as a Zerg, but I mean, the minute the 2 cannons go down, I leave instantly. But I mean, I think as an observer of this game, you might almost say that Eon's kind of has to do something crazy and like maybe take it, like have already taken his 4th base or something, you know, and just said, well, if I get attacked, I die, but if I don't take this 4th base, well, then I'm still dead, right?
Right.
But instead, kind of, it just feels kind of hesitant, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. You know, he's trying to make still reasonable and safe choices when,
Yeah.
you know, and maybe not to his knowledge, right?
Yeah. Well, and there is there is a
does
bit of not like flip-flopping between, you know, as a Zerg, you know, you always say you either want to be making drones or you want to be making army units. And this whole time Eon's been kind of doing the flip-flop between, okay, I got to make some drones, I got to make some army units, I need to try and balance those out, but then it just results in you don't get that economy that is typically characteristic of a Zerg, I guess.
Right.
Now this 3rd base, pretty uncontested. Playa takes it out, and Eon just trying to hold onto his natural. He's rallying the troops back. He's probably preparing for that final attack, seeing if he can make something happen. Playa's got a ridiculous bank. He's got 72 workers. He's in a good place right now.
Yeah, he really is. Well, and he's done a good job here, right, of not giving his opponent any time to breathe, right? So the mutas push across the map, and that's the scariest point for him. But right as he's pushing up across the map, right, he runs an oracle to the 3rd there, and he took Phoenix into the main, right, to see if he could pick up a queen, pick off any drones, kill an overlord, anything like that. So he's done a good job of staying very active with everything.
Yeah.
While, you know, fully saturating a 3rd, now he's taking a 4th, right? So
yeah, and he never
just
quite
really macroing up, but making some good use of his plays on the map.
And like you said, he keeps his opponent kind of choked or continue to feel pressured, and it's not that like he goes for, you know, sometimes you see the epic like 8 minutes of blink stalkers and, you know, forward warpins. What really plays is more of a every minute, or, you know, every 2 minutes he pushes or something, and he does something, and then he goes home and he says, okay, what do I do in my next 2 minutes? And then he'll move out again and do something, and yeah, just continues to keep his opponent on the wrong foot, and he continues to push him back off balance. And this is the most ridiculous Protoss production line I think I've ever seen, actually. It kind of looks like a Terran right now.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy. I mean, a lot of it right in rounding out his tech, right? Because he's thinking about his next army already, even though I don't know that there are going to be 2 fights in this game just based on our supply differential.
Yeah, but I mean, I think Playa plays every game like it's going to continue. He doesn't take his opponent necessarily for granted. And actually, we're seeing EON says it's time to go. It's time to make something happen. Because if it's not going to, then it's just not going to.
Playa a little bit out of position. Didn't have the tower there, right? So he didn't know that was coming.
Yeah. Although Playa maintaining this this mothership core, he will have that warp, recall to probably defend a base of his choosing when he decides it's time to, maybe stop the base trade at a base raise, or maybe not. I don't know. We'll see. He does have that option open.
I think he will recall back, right? Because if he takes a big fight right now, then there's no chance he loses this game. Whereas the biggest chance right now is that somehow he really blows the base trade.
Yeah.
And he just decides to defend his newest base, right? Which is a good choice. And now EON has this awkward sort of situation where he's like, well, I can't go home now. There's nothing to go home to.
Yeah, a couple of gateway units really cleaning up the rest of EON's base pretty uncontested. Curious choice out of Playa. He's just leaving his army. I don't know. I feel like you could kind of just squash your opponent in there, but I guess there's just not a lot of anti-air. I don't know. There's a lot of Colossus, but not.
The big thing is he knows his production's better right now. I mean, as crazy as it seems, right? He's losing bases, but just sitting on that one base that he has, right? He can fight with 4 cannons. And there's no reason for him to rush it, right? He's at a higher supply, but he's producing higher, so if he can squeeze out a few extra
over here. I'm like, go do it, do the thing.
Do the thing, please fight.
He is just patiently taking out the buildings of EON. In fact, he might never choose to engage this army completely. Looks like he's going for an elimination there. All we've got left out of EON is just a couple of structures. I mean, 2 extractors and a Hydralisk den that will quickly go down. So Playa might get the elimination here.
Yeah, he might. I mean, that's not a bad way to try to handle this. I mean, really, at the end of the day, there's, what, 9 Hydras, 8 Hydras?
Yeah.
And quickly dropping that's left on that. So.
And once those Hydras are gone, this is the last attacking unit. This one Hydra. It's the last unit, rather, that can kill bases, so Playa.
Right, a hard fought game by EON there, but well completed, very clean, and as you said, very safe.
Yeah.
Closure for Playa there.
He just decides, okay, I mean, this is how I can win. I guess I don't need to get fancy.
Right, but kind of like you said, it's anxious watching that. I mean, 9 out of 10 players would have taken that fight straight away, right?
It. Yeah, and there were a lot of corruptors and not a crazy amount of stalkers in Playa's army to actually counter those corruptors and take them out before the. So yeah, looking back on it, I mean, I think I can understand. My feeble little brain can understand a little bit better as to why he chose to do that instead. Yeah, so EON, he is getting knocked out by.
Knocked down to the losers bracket.
Yeah, so not knocked out. I was trying to get there, and then I, as I typically do, I lose my train of thought. But yeah, EON going down to the losers bracket. No shame. I mean, he's a Masters player going up against the GM, but it does take it to all 3 maps. So let's see.